All right, race fans, here we go. We're back tonight here. That's right. We got some Spartan Sim Racing League Master Series. And, well, don't blink because the action is going to be fast, quick, and awesome here tonight. As it's Bristol, baby. I mean, this is the place that, I don't know, it's the madhouse in West. They call it the bull ring of racing. I mean, yeah, it's changed over the years a little bit, but man, it's still Bristol.
It's Bristol, and I've never heard it called the Bull Ring. I always just knew it as the last great Coliseum where we see gladiators and metal chariots go fight it out with each other.
Yeah, I think I call it the Bull Ring, but I mean, and I get that term a lot from dirt racing and stuff like that too. So, but you're right, last great Coliseum, man. I mean, the history here at this place is just phenomenal. Now, and when I say racing has changed over the years, I go about how used to be just a one groove style track. The only way you pass was the famous bump and run. Now you seem to have a little more options. You can kind of take the high. You can maybe pass on that low line a little bit. Still tends to sometimes be a one groove race, but let's see how it plays out tonight.
Yeah, I'm obviously not been watching as long as you have, Joe. I always known it as having both a bottom and a high line, but recently, in recent years as well, there's kind of been a middle line that gets made in between both the way high and then wrapping the paint of the yellow line down on the apron.
You know, I know that I believe you said before you're a big Earnhardt fan.
I like Dale Earnhardt. Yeah.
Okay. Well, his one of his most famous, I don't want to say his most famous, but one of his famous wins here was the deal between him and Terry Labonte. Go back and watch that one. That was really interesting. Basically, it technically was supposed to have been a bump and run, but he basically ran all right.
It was a full dump. I know the clip you're talking about.
Yeah, so that was one of the most famous ones here, but that takes you back to the old days of where I was talking about where it's one groove, and really that's just about how you had to pass. I mean, you really you had to scuff somebody up a lot here, and with the progressive banking, like you said, the changes over the years have come a long way. But let's see what these Spartan boys have in store tonight. Now, along with that, I know we've been off here the last several weeks, and a lot of stuff has happened. Obviously, we've got the in-season tournament going on with the admin box, and tonight that still gets going. You see that on the screen right now, folks. I popped it up for you in the chat, and Wes, I was trying to get up to speed on that a little bit. Seems like we got some drivers. Got some buys, Grusmacher, Carr, Boyles, and Cole Macheski, but we got several other drivers there that, we'll watch throughout the race and see how they do.
Yeah, the winner's side of the bracket, at least, that's Grusmacher, Carr, Boyles, and Cole Macheski. They don't have to worry about tonight. It's the losers bracket that will of Vincent versus Jorgensen, Gerlach and Ginningsman, Hammonds and Carr, Clore and Holloman. So that's who is going to be battling out to advance further on in tonight. And it's going to put on a show. I've not quite looked yet to make sure everybody's there. I think everybody in those battles is on track.
Let's see. So who we got? We got Vincent and Jorgensen. So
I see both of them.
Yep, they're there. Who else we got in second place?
Gerlach and Ginningsman.
No, Ginningsman can't be missing.
They're both there.
Yep, they're both there. Okay.
Hammonds and Carr, Greg Carr, they're both there. And then Clore and Holloman are both in there as well.
Okay, all right.
Or no, yeah, Holloman is there. I missed his name for a second.
That's all right. Well, qualifying came to a close there, and we're going to do a little warm up here. Give us a little time, maybe to talk over some things here, and along with the admin box, that's going to be awesome. And I mean, obviously, the big picture. I mean, it'll be great to win that admin box one, but man, we got the championship. I mean, basically the points championship, and then that's going to be that even bigger one there too, and. It's changed a little bit the last race because, we had to postpone a couple races, so the last race is not going to go to the one that they thought it would be, so it's going to be a little bit different. I think it's Pocono, I believe it is. I have to go look at the schedule real quick.
Yes, I believe it is Pocono.
Actually, Richmond.
Is it?
Richmond, yeah. So Pocono, I think I think Pocono was originally supposed to be the last one, but we had to, they had a postpone and put one of the races. So Richmond now is the final that we're going to add. As we're talking about that admin box one. Let's see. It looks like it's going to end. I'm looking here. Dover is race 7, but then they have like an AT race. Okay, so the AT race, admin tournament. Yeah, race 9, if needed, is what it says. It'll be Nashville, May 31st. So might not need it. We'll see. Don't really know what it means by if needed. I guess if there's a tie, I guess that's what that would be. I guess
or if neither driver makes it to that race.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm gonna assume.
Oh, okay. Well, that'd be interesting. I mean, we'll get some confirmation here over the weeks, with Dave and Chris and guys up there. But hey, Bristol, man, what do you think we're going to see tonight? I mean, obviously the biggest thing with this series, and we've talked about that a lot this season, is the fact that they run open setup. So a lot different. You have to kind of throw out everything that we see, during the officials. But, I mean, you can get a little bit of an idea, maybe how like the track will race, how you maybe have to set this thing up. I don't know. What do you think we'll see tonight?
I'm not exactly sure tonight, Joe, because like you said, Bristol, it's still kind of that one lane bottom. You can use the high open setups as well. I've ran some regular fixed setups here.
Okay.
So I know what that kind of feels like. And I'll tell you what, it is tight. It really wanted to push. There's no PJ1 or any type of traction down on the bottom as well, so it's going to be a little bit harder to put it down there. At least it was on the fixed setup. So it's tight, but also it's a little slippy.
Well, then I guess, we've seen some guys, and I'm going to reference back to probably maybe the first, 3, 4, maybe 5 races into the season where we were seeing a lot of kind of self spins and kind of uncharacteristic type of things on the track with this car. And we talked about being fixed setup, that maybe these guys have too aggressiveness on the looseness. Obviously, with this car here, or with this track, tonight, like what you just said, if it is tight, you're going to want to loosen it up some, or depending on how well you're driving and you feel. But with that said, there, Wes, side by side, this track also is known for, you get out of that, coming out of the turn, get on the throttle too soon, it can snap loose from you.
Yep, and it's really fun as well
like
to
right
be. I was about to say, just like kind of what we saw with Dave at least, but. Yeah, getting up off of 2, you want to talk about 2 lines through the turns colliding on exit. Bristol's really a big one, because you can see it as the rubber eventually gets laid down. It's going to be the right side tires that mainly put down the rubber. You'll see the black lines just completely converge right on exit, and it's going to be really fun as well. Exit of turns 2 and 4, I think, are probably going to be where you really need to be patient, both on throttle and if you have a gap. If you don't think they're going to give you room, don't put your nose in it.
Right. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, and another thing we talk about too is long green flag runs is always a good thing most of the time in racing as far as being a leader. The problem with here, though, is eventually you're going to get in lap traffic. And usually once you're in lap traffic here, you don't get out of it. So the danger at every corner is kind of what I bring up. It happens like at a Dover or any style short track race if we get a long green flag run. So something kind of maybe the leader you have to look at. There again, we won't know until I don't know how the race kind of plays out over the course of the laps.
Yeah, and Bristol, just based off what we saw IRL this weekend, it seems like it was a bottom heavy track. The leaders lapping cars, they typically move to the top side, and then the top would also come in about halfway through a run. So we might see the same thing here tonight with the Master Series. Not 100% sure of it.
Yeah, and I'm going to reference that too. That's because it's the only thing I have to go off of. Is like I said, in the real world, considering these guys have the setup just like they do, or the ability to be able to do it. And right there, real quick, right there is kind of what we were talking about. Coming off the turn, you just saw him just go straight for the wall. You know, the thing just comes out from under you real quick. But like what you said there, I noticed that top lane was really dominant there, especially in the Xfinity race. I watched some of the highlights. I watched some of the highlights there on the Cup race. It seemed like you said, on that high lane was where you wanted to be, but the low lane was able to go into the turn. But it looked like coming off the turn, that high lane was where you kind of wanted to be at.
Yeah, it's momentum versus the momentum on corner exit versus the shortest way around the track is really what I say. That's a lot of tracks, but Bristol really is one of the ones that hammer it home. You're gonna have great momentum coming off this very steep banking if you're on the high side, but the car, if you're fighting side by side and someone's hugging that yellow paint down there, they can clear you and shut the door on you before you get to the exit.
You know, Bristol over the years, it used to be kind of its own characteristic, and now I kind of, if I had to take a track, I would say Dover probably would be closest to this one, because you're always you're not on as much banking as you are on Dover, but you are on a bank even on the straightaways, and in Dover you're on a bank on the straightaways, but it does kind of, it goes down in the turns. And again, here you have that it's kind of like that transition between the turn and going into the back stretch or front stretch. And you mentioned that earlier, coming off of that, even side by side, it's almost like a bump, and it can kind of almost throw you to the wall or send you loose and whatnot. So it's kind of a characteristic like Dover is, if I had to pick a track close to it.
Dover is, I'd say, is a little bit more extreme.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
But I definitely know what you're talking about, Joe. I've been victim both on iRacing, then also on NASCAR Heat 5, the console days, of those bumps on corner exit or even corner entry. It's upset in my car. And corner entry, if you mess up corner entry, whether you're not off the gas soon enough or if you're braking and you don't put enough pressure in, or somebody brakes way earlier than you are, you can accidentally punt someone, send them up high into the wall. And you want to talk about the last great Coliseum, as it's told, it gives us great battles. It also gives us very high tempers.
Yeah, and that's short track racing. I get it. Emotions, like what you said, they go really high, etc., etc. Short tracks, though, I've said this probably a million times. Somebody's going to be happy, somebody's going to be mad. Coming out here, it's going to be the same reference here. Somebody's going to be happy, somebody's going to be mad. Somebody's going to win, somebody's going to lose. And that's kind of what you look at, like when you just talked about that with short tracks and tempers and whatnot. It's the Master Series with how well these guys, man, want to handle themselves here tonight. We talk. We look at plate races, kind of like wild card races. I'm kind of in the group when I talk about short track, especially when I talk about Bristol and Martinsville. I guess that's the two that really come to mind real quick as we're getting set here at the grid. That to me can almost be wild card races.
Yeah, Super Speedway, I agree with you. Short tracks are a little bit of wild card races because it's so close and compact that somebody makes a mistake, all of a sudden you're there, or if you make a mistake, somebody else is around you. It's tight and compact for the total opposite for the reason of Super Speedways being tight and compact.
Well, let's look at the grid real quick, my man, here tonight, because it ought to be a good and a thriller here at Bristol. We got Grusmacher going to be the man starting on pole. Dave Few's going to be starting right there in second. Shane Clore is going to start in third. Mark Sanchez there in the fourth. We got Justin Boyles. He's starting in fifth. Greg Carr there in sixth. Dakota Jorgensen starting in the seventh. Jose Medina starting in eighth place. Oh, Chad Kibbe. He's going to start us in the ninth. Genningsman right there in the 10th. Hyatt starting in 11th. We got Carr in 12th. We look at the 13th place spot. We got Hammonds. Nicotera starting 14th. Cole Macheski in the 15th. Holloman in 16th. Gerlach in 17th. Vincent there in the 18th. Chris Fuge, in the 19th. And Connor Fuge in the 20th. So, well, we got all the Fuges out here tonight.
They're not racing. I think they just joined as a driver.
Oh, okay. My bad. Hey, look. They get out there, they might be doing something, though.
That's our race control for the night. I think they just accidentally joined as a driver and are showing.
Okay, I got you. I know Dave does, though. I know out of all those, so don't pay no mind to the Connor and the Chris there, especially Chris. I know he's an admin guy, but okay. Do you see anybody here that might need to take it easy? I mean, Cole Macheski starting back there in that 16th spot, not too bad, but he's going to be in that traffic, and we talked about how tough it's going to be to get around this place or pass, for that matter. Are you aggressive on the start, or do you just wait to kind of maybe hope it kind of spreads out a little bit and then go from there?
You say anybody in particular? I say not anyone specific. I think everybody needs to take it easy.
Okay.
Let's get everything kind of spread out, because these restarts, I'm scared of restarts at Bristol. I'm not gonna lie to you. They are some of the most chaotic restarts I have ever seen, just because you're on the throttle, it's easy to spin those tires, and turn one approaches you real quick, and it's not one you can keep it wide open through. You've got to lift into it.
Yeah, and you're right. And then, we talk about cautions here as we're getting set to go green flag. Cautions breed cautions, and that usually happens on the restart. Pace cars in. And wow. Now, that's something we didn't talk about, spinning tires, and that's kind of unusual to see that on a new set of tires, spinning them, but obviously they are still cold tires. He could have missed a shift there on that start, but yeah, already back in 8th spot. And a car round. And when I say car, I'm talking about Greg Carr.
Well, it's a car round, and the driver of the car was Carr, so.
Oh, yeah, we'll get actually, man, Grusmacher actually spun those tires coming out of the turn. We just saw it right there as we're watching watching this replay here. What kind of happened to Carr? I think he bumped off the wall a little bit. And he's right there behind. If he had some help. No, he just lost it. We talked about that, man, here in the warm-up. Losing it coming off. I mean, and you spoke of it. Taking it easy on these restarts. These tires are still cold. They're still, got to get up to temperature, got to get up to the tire pressure limits and stuff. And, sometimes, even though on new tires you feel like Superman, until they get up to those temps and get up to where they need to be, they're very deadly and slick. And, Grusmacher and Carr both right there felt that.
I'm also going to say I'm listening into the radio with the drivers. Grusmacher also just came on the radio saying, don't restart in first gear. So.
Yeah, that's about it.
So no traction, complete wheel spin. That makes sense.
But he had the talent to hold on to it. Cole Macheski, man, did something. Let's look and see what happened to him. Did he just stop on the track or just stop? Oh, okay. Probably triggered because he had to slow down. All right. Just making sure he was okay back there. All right, puts old Dave Fuge up front. Hope I'm saying his last name there, Wes.
You
right?
are.
Okay,
You are.
cool. All right. Put an L on there, it'd be Fudge.
If you put a D in there, it'd be Fudge.
That's right, yeah. Yeah, put an L, it'd be Foolage.
Blue.
Foolage. Something like that, I don't know. That's something. Oolage. There we go. We saw Dave there on the warm-up. A couple times he lost it coming out, so maybe he learned a little bit on, okay, look, maybe, what I need to do inside the car. His lights are off on the pace car. And that's the thing here. They have so much control over what they can do as opposed to what the fixed setups do not have. I mean, all they have is brake valves. These guys have, they can control everything when they go into the pits, with a track bar, tire pressure, springs, anything like that. I mean, there's a limit on some things, but they have so much more tools that they can work with other than the fixed setup. But pace car's in. Green flag, got a short one on this one here. Fuge man out front. He gets a good jump, but 72 right there, Clore. So we'll have to see if that high lane actually is a place to be here maybe early on. And you talked about it, these cars being tight, they're a little loose maybe right now. And, I mean, everybody's still standing on that bottom lane, though.
Yeah, it takes a while. It took a while for the top lane to develop, at least in the real-life races, about halfway through a run. So I'd expect the bottom to be faster. It's also safer just not having to worry about somebody outside or inside of you coming off turns.
Yeah. Right now, Genningsman, this is a guy, man, we've talked a lot about throughout the season. He actually, one of the good things about him is it looks like his qualifying efforts have gotten a lot better in the past, almost say 5 or 6 races or so. He's, he used to always say, man, I just wasn't very good at qualifying, but he always found a way to get to the front or top 10 or whatnot. And I always said, hey, if he ever figured out the qualifying part, he would definitely be up there. Right now, he's sitting in 8. Not a bad starting position right here. So, I mean, that's his qualifying throughout the season has gotten a lot better.
Completely agree with you there. And that is one thing. Genningsman, he always had the long run speed. He was really patient every single time we saw him working his way through traffic. So him starting up further in the field is definitely helping him out. I think that's the caution out.
Yeah, and man, unfortunately, to me, it's probably the paint job of the night. Just my opinion. I for some reason, I just like that paint job. I mean, I don't know what it is about it. I guess maybe the color scheme and all, but just unfortunately, let's watch what happened. We was watching in real time there, because we was watching Genningsman right there, but he just basically lost it coming out of the turn. It stepped out from under him, and might be a theme tonight here, Wes. These guys might have them a little bit too loose. I know you spoke of it being a little tight in a fixed setup. They might have to tighten them up a little bit, or the only other way is that looks pretty much just wait until the car gets a little straight before you get on the throttle. Too much throttle coming out of the turn there, but yeah, just unfortunate for him. Bumped the car. Now, with that bump though, he, as long as it didn't hurt, let's say like the steering or the motor, you can get away with that here at this track.
Yeah. Aero does not really matter at Bristol.
No. I mean, sure, it's going to help, but as long as he didn't mess up the toe or mess up any of the steering to where he can't get the car to turn or anything like that, or obviously mess up the motor, some cosmetic here. Because 9 times out of 10, most of these cars, I'm not going to say all of them, are going to come out of here with some marks on them.
Yeah, I was at, and I'm going to say this, I've passed the track maybe about 30, maybe 35 times in my lifetime. Bristol Motor Speedway. Finally went inside the track for the first time this weekend.
Oh, nice.
I don't think I saw a single perfectly clean car from the Xfinity race.
Yeah, no, and that's just prototypical Bristol and even Martinsville. Those two tracks, to me, I don't think they're the oldest of the short tracks. Martinsville's up there. But to me, these two tracks, when it comes to short track racing, are probably the most famous and just known for, I don't know, their characteristics of being short tracks really are almost like that, the Bowman Gray of short tracks in the NASCAR world that way.
I mean, the two, Bristol and Martinsville, what they have going for them is they're just so iconic with, I'd say mainly their pit road is what does it. Bristol being the split, then Martinsville being the paperclip.
Yeah. Pace car's in. Here we go. Fuchs gets on the loud pedal back up front. Clore's there with him. Boyles, another guy, man, who tonight's had a great qualifying effort. He's had some halfway good ones, halfway bad ones, but he's been able to climb through the field. Tonight doesn't have to really do that so much. He's right there sitting in third. Maybe he can ride just a little bit. You got Grusmacher, seeing if he can't climb back up in there. Jorgensen too. Kibbe, Genningsman. So a lot of guys right now just trying to get what they can get. Some have actually opting to stay in that high lane.
And it's just a little bit surprising to me right now. I mean, the jump you'd get from the outside lane on restarts, I think definitely could help. But then typically I would try to get to the bottom as fast as possible. A, it's the fastest way around the track, lengthwise.
Right.
B, it helps you with keeping heat out of your tires, which helps you preserve them for longer. And then C, like I said earlier, you don't got to worry about somebody to your inside possibly closing the door or squeezing you or ending up in your left rear on corner exit if they think they're clear.
Absolutely. Watch the pass here for the lead, man, as Clore was able to get around Fuchs. Fuchs actually started on the restart here and kind of got going, but then, Clore fell right behind him, but you can just see he actually used that outside lane. And then right there, Fuchs tried to battle back, but yeah, just Clore was able to pass him on that outside. And it's out front right now.
And also, Joe, I was just looking it up after you asked the question. So short track wise, the oldest, well, not just short track wise, but the oldest NASCAR track on the schedule is Richmond from 1946.
Okay.
Martinsville was 47.
I knew Martinsville
Bristol
was
was in
old.
61.
Okay. I knew Martinsville was really old. Richmond is another track. I mean, it is, to me, is considered a short track, and it's just got a uniqueness to it, it's just unique. When I talk about short tracks, brutal racing wise, I think Bristol and Martinsville, just coming out here and you're going to beat and bang and get in the cars, especially Martinsville, as short as it is. But just the years and the history that Bristol and Martinsville's got, can't take anything away from the other short tracks, but man, these two are definitely on another level as far as when it comes. But Golmacheski trying to make some waves. He's up, man, 7 spots already.
Yeah, he is, in Grusmacher as well after his poor initial starts in first gear, which we've learned don't do that.
Nah.
But he's rebounded all the way back up to 4th right now as well.
He has. Yeah, looking good. Trying to see what he can do. Boyles right there on the back end. If Fuchs going to look to that inside. Let's see if Boyles is able to make this pass. And it looks like Fusman right now is just going to say, guys, just go ahead. He's going to let Grusmacher and Boyles go. Maybe fall back and ride just a little bit. Genningsman, another one. We talked about him earlier. He's right there in the 9th. And you want to talk about the hard chargers, you got to look at this guy here. Vincent up 8 spots along with Cole Macheski up 7. But Vincent right there in the 10th place spot, already up 8. So kind of trying to move through the field here.
Yeah, and it's helping. I'd say it definitely helps once everything's kind of single filed, straightened out. You're not having side-by-side action all the way around, just because it's easier to pick your way through the traffic.
Yeah.
If there's somebody side by side in front of you, you're either waiting for one of them to make the pass, or if you've got enough, hike up your britches and send it 3 wide in the middle. Or if there's enough room, send it 3 wide all the way to the top.
Yeah. There you go. And we talked about this in the warm up too. About what do? You wait, coming to the field. If you're in the back there, wait till they get kind of single file. And right now, it's a perfect example. They're single file. You see Cole Majeski, right there up 8 spots already. Hammond's up 7. So those two guys have been able to run through the field by these guys just being single file the way they are. Now, obviously, on the flip side of that, you got some guys up, but Jorgensen unfortunately falling back 8 spots. And then, obviously Carr and Medina, they got to spin earlier on. But, Jorgensen right there, man, just falling 8 spots. So, and even with Sanchez falling 8 spots. So, you got your winners, and obviously, man, you got the losers, man, going through the field and going backwards also.
I'm going to say this as well, Joe. Just talking about long green flag runs and such, because I love seeing them. I know you love to see them as well. I'm not exact on the fuel. I didn't look on the fuel when I was running my laps with my fixed setup.
Yeah,
I'm gonna guess around 150 laps on the fuel on a full tank. So maybe one stop.
We're looking right. I mean, just by going off of obviously a little bit, the information, man, that Chris throws out here at me, they've got 6 sets of tires, including the one they've got. So to me, unless it's just a really heavy caution fest, that's plenty of tires for them. They don't. I guess I probably should know this over the years already, or over the course of what we have, is the percentage of fuel. I think they run 100%, don't they?
They do.
Okay. With that, I'm going to go out on a limb and say they should be able to run in between 120 to 150 laps. Now, whether their tires will go.
That was what I was going to say as well. I don't know if the tires are going to last. I don't know what model iRacing has for the tires at Bristol.
Yeah, that would be my only, because as far as fuel, I don't really think it's going to be the biggest concern. There could be a possibility. Now, obviously, with the 2 cautions early, you got to factor in that. I wouldn't be surprised to maybe see somebody make this a one-stop race or try, depending on how those cautions fall. That's going to be the Achilles heel there. How the cautions fall. I mean, if we get another one, here soon, there's a possibility. I think we might see maybe a 1 pit stop, but I'm gonna go out on a limb and still say it's 2 to 3, just because of tires.
Yeah, if it was dependent on fuel, I'd be with you. I'd say 1 stop, but being a little bit unsure about how much fuel or how much wear the tires are going to have, I'd say we'll probably see 2, maybe 3 stops, especially with it being 350 laps.
Yeah, and again, with the cautions the way they are, and 2, don't mean to say it this way, because obviously this is a great league, Spartan Sim Racing League Master Series here tonight. With a little bit shorter field, you don't have to really. When I say this, I'm kind of light on saying it, is you're not 100% concerned on the track position, because you can come back through the field now. You're not going to fall back to 30th or 28th or whatnot. So you can come through the fields. We got a battle for the lead here, man. Boyles now he's caught Clore.
Yeah, he has. It's not been necessarily tenths faster, but he's been consistently just a little bit faster than Clore, to where he snuck up to the rear bumper of the 72. And you can see Clore, he's starting to look around the track, trying to run different lines, seeing what Boyles was doing in his mirror. Maybe try to copy it so that he keeps that 23 behind him.
And another thing, watching right here, man, on Boyles, look how Clore, he's letting the car kind of drift coming out of the turn, which he's down low, as opposed to Boyles is almost kind of keeping that car forced down. So, obviously Mint's got some pretty good, grip, but Usually that would tend to kick that rear end out the way that Boyles is kind of to do it. Clore kind of letting it just kind of glide up there to the turn. So yeah, a little bit different angles here going into the turns, and now you see Clore kind of go up the track a little bit.
Yeah, Clore, he's running a let's call it the typical and predictive line of you're hitting the apex right there on the apron, middle of the turn.
Yeah.
And Boyles, he's doing what I think is what a lot of people think of when they think Bristol is diamonding the corner, where you kind of enter into 1 and 3 right there along the apron, drift up in the middle, then cut it back down for a straighter exit where you're able to accelerate better.
Yeah, and you can see it. It's perfect angle right here to see what he's doing. Now, in that one right there, so much he lets it kind of drift, but it looks like right here, now you can see what you're talking about. Watch him kind of just trying to turn that car straight down. Doesn't let it drift out of the turn, but kind of like let it get it straight like you was talking about.
And it's definitely helping him.
Yeah.
As well, I would say that's what everybody kind of predicts is needed a strategy, as they're side by side right now going into 1.
Now, right there, though, you saw, man, with Boyles been on the inside and getting kind of stuck down the inside lane by him trying to straighten that car out coming out of the turn like he was. You notice how now it's getting a little bit looser. So the inside, you definitely got to drive it a lot different.
Yeah, and Bristol, I'm going to say it's probably one of my favorite short tracks.
I wasn't very good here.
It's not my favorite to race, but it's one of my favorites to watch because of it.
Yeah.
Now, when I would race it, if you want to straighten it out and absolutely throttle the corner, you do not want to be on the bottom. You want to have clear space all around you.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. Watching the track, and obviously the plate track's there, but look who's coming back in the picture here real quick, man. Grusmacher, missing that gear on the restart, getting behind just a little bit. Luckily, did not wreck the car and get himself in a worse position, but he's coming through the field, so it looks like he's got a good long run style setup in that car.
It definitely does. He's been, and it helps that the leaders were kind of fighting each other, so he's been able to haul him in by about half a tenth or so every lap.
Absolutely. Right now, man, up front, as you can see, battling out here. You got Clore trying to hold off Boyles. Grusmacher's coming into the picture, and then, don't blink, because you got these two guys back here, too, that have been coming through the field. Cole Macheski's up 11 spots there in 4th. Hammond's up 8 in 5th. And even Vincent up 12 himself right there in 6th.
And it doesn't seem, well, I was about to say it doesn't seem like they're going to anytime soon. But the leaders are now approaching lap traffic as well. So we wanted to talk about how lap traffic plays a part if they're too wide ahead of you or if they're single file. Well, right now it's very spread out between everyone, and everyone's single file. So it's going to be, is the traffic going to play nice, get out of the leader's way, or are they going to have to make the move?
Yeah.
I think he just played nice there.
And I mentioned that in the warm-up. Once you get in traffic, you pretty much are in traffic. And you see right here, man, we're watching Clore. He's coming up, and it's pretty clear right now. But the more he does get into that traffic, once you get there, you've got cars, men all around. So I think they've got a little bit of ways to go. But I'm with you. Those 3 cars right there now. And lap times, too. I mean, now short tracks probably really are the only races you're going to see. Maybe lap times are kind of all over the place. Now Boyles and Grusmacher ran about the same as cautions out. Oh man, and our man Ginning's been involved.
Yeah, I was about to say that's the 79 around on the exit of 4.
Man, let's see what happened to him back here in the back. Oh, he just lost it, and then nowhere to go for the 88 there of Gerlach. So yeah, just lost it coming around. We've seen it all night long.
And I think that's really what we're going to see all night long, even more as well. Because once we got into running, I mean, we had a great run there. all the way up to lap 67. So it was give or take what, about 45, 50 laps green.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So once we got that good amount of green flag running in, everybody spread out. It wasn't. There were battles for sure, but not everybody on top of each other.
Pit stops. Woo, okay. Now we touched on this earlier. I mean, do you think, man, Wes, that this could be, if it goes caution free, the only stop?
No.
Okay. All right.
It is too soon. I say they have about 150 laps in the fuel tank.
Mm-hmm.
They're nowhere close to the halfway mark of this race.
Okay.
And even then, it's 350 laps, not 300.
Yeah.
So it's basically a guaranteed 2-stop. Now from here, would they have to make only one more stop? They can.
Okay.
But there's no way this is the only stop of the race.
Now, the guys that benefited from that caution up here, Jorgensen, Holloman, Hyatt, Medina, which we talked earlier, even with that damage, it looks like he's been beating that stuff out, which I don't know why he's dropping back. But either way, some of those guys benefited because they pitted on lap 68. But it looks like okay, there we go. Lining them back up. All right. Well, one up there, man, Grusmacher pitted on lap 69 with the caution when it was there. But Jorgensen out front here with Holloman. All right, what do they got? I mean, I don't know if one lap difference in tires will make a huge difference. It will later in the run, but see how these guys hold up here. Strike position crucial for them. Green flag, back racing.
It's just hearing over the radio. It was a weird stage of the pits when they open and such. So that's kind of why you see the 1 lap difference.
Oh, okay.
And it's going to be a little interesting. Clore, Grusmacher, and the 23 Bulls, who's now all the way down at 15th, actually.
Okay.
He had not a long pit stop. Didn't have a long pit stop. It was just that weird cycle and such. But they were the 3 that we saw all the way up front. Now it's 2 different people up there, Jorgensen and Holland.
Yeah, I'm looking back at Boyles. I'm not quite sure what happened there, unless he opted to come back in and top it off. I mean, his pit stop looked fine. His total time on and off pit road was not that far. I mean, 57.58 at a 15.42. So maybe just could have came back on and back down during that.
2 off.
What you got?
Hyatt, he went and smacked the inside wall coming off a 2.
Go back and see what happened here, see if we can get an idea. Hyatt's right there. He's in the 2 machine, folks. We just lost it coming out of the turn. Yep, just lost it coming out of the turn. Yeah, we've seen that in the past. And we've talked about, what might, fix it or what the guys could maybe do. But at this track, other than the fact of, watch your throttle control, what do you do?
I don't think it matters.
It don't matter? Okay. I mean, then I guess basically the only thing is just tighten the car up. I mean, that would be the only thing. I mean, tighten it up so much to where it's just not going to kick that rear end. But then you got to look how you're sacrificing speed as Holloman takes over the lead and up 15 spots, man. And we talked about earlier, I mean, we brought up, man, that admin box tournament. Holloman in that thing.
Yeah, it is. He's got one of his races today. Let me see if I can figure out who it was. Clore.
Yeah, so Shane
So
Clore
it's
back
him
in
versus
7th.
in 72.
Yeah. Clore's right there. We were also talking about, unfortunately, Greg Carr got involved in a wreck. He's back there in the 12th. Now his is actually Hammonds, who is actually having a pretty good race right now. He's up in 3rd. And then we've got Gerlach and Ginningsman, and Gerlach right now. Well, Ginningsman unfortunately lapped down back in 17th. Gerlach, man, right there. He's close in 14th, but he's really safe because he was the one who just got involved in that wreck. But Ginningsman being a lap down, he's got a little cushion. And then the last pair would be Vincent and Jorgensen. And Jorgensen right now, man, is putting hurting on him. He's up in 2nd. And Vincent hanging on right there in the 6th place spot.
Yeah, so
down.
So while it seems like they're kind of far away from each other, just based on how quick these laps are, everybody's still kind of close.
Oh, absolutely. Well, just look here. Jorgensen is right here in 2nd, and Vincent is right there in 6th. I mean, so they're within striking distance. And I talked about it, earlier, getting in lap traffic. You see our leader right now, Holloman, and he's got Jorgensen right behind him with Hammonds. Now, if they start battling, we've seen how fast Grusmark was able to close up.
Yeah, so battles, lap traffic, it's kind of what either impedes or helps you here at a short track, Bristol especially. And Holloman and Jorgensen, best thing for everyone, just kind of sit and ride it out for a little bit, see who kind of wears their stuff based on how they're driving, and then just take advantage whenever there's a slip up. I wouldn't try to go out and push the issue, as Hammonds right now, he looked to the inside of Jorgensen just a moment ago. Now I think that 26, he's kind of hounding the 9-1 past as soon as he can.
Well, the two out front right now, pitted at lap 68. They've got that one lap older tires than what Hammonds, Grusmacher, Komachevsky and them do. I think, eventually you will see, that one lap difference play a factor as this thing goes along green flag. If you get some cautions, that's a different subject, but I think you can kind of see it right here with Hammonds. Too, it's also really tough to whether or not sit up here and say he's just got a better setup under the car, because that's another variant that we have, up here that we have to look at, as opposed to when we're looking at a fixed race. We almost can say, yeah, it's a tire difference. And see Hammonds trying to go for the pass.
Yeah, I don't think a single guy runs the exact same setup as anybody else. Several of them might have the same base setup that they went out and got each and every week, but then they tweak it to their own liking and such. And even with the tire one lap difference, that was a caution lap as well. It was not a green flag lap.
Yeah. You've got, and you just spoke of that right there, with even with Grusmacher, and I feel like it's not Grusmacher, but the Team Conti out here. I know there's a couple other cars out there that run the Team Conti. Even with that, I know they're probably getting a setup from Conti or whatnot, but it's going to be different from driver to driver. And to see Hammonds actually making that pass, being able to go around Holloman, take it to the top spot.
So Holloman, he's starting to fade back. So's Jorgensen in the 9, I would think. Yeah, he's right there. He gives up the spot to both Grusmacher and Komachevsky. And Holloman, he's going to stay low, and here come the 38 and the 69 around the top side, and going to clear him as well.
Yep.
So it's definitely a setup thing, I'd say, more than tire life.
Yeah.
Considering it's one lap difference, and it was a yellow flag lap.
Yeah, and I'm with you on that one there too. Setups here play such a huge factor in how these guys, man, driving, how you feel about your car, how you got to set up for short run, long run, kind of medium style run, and you want it, tight, loose. How you feeling right now? A lot of these guys, man, look, I mean, through that top field, even though they look pretty stable, but to me it looks like that middle lane right now is probably a little bit better. I mean, yeah, they're utilizing that low line, but it looks like maybe that middle to high is starting to really come in.
That's kind of what I would expect right now in the run, about just under 40 laps into it. Is that middle line, I'd say, is probably the best between the three. The low line, yeah, can definitely help. The high line can give you momentum, but the middle line's kind of a little bit of both. It's got some decent traction down there, and you still get a little bit of momentum off the corner. As Will Grutzmacher closes the door on Cole Macheski right there on the exit of 2.
That's a good battle for second here. Cole Macheski, Grutzmacher right there. Those two guys going at each other. Grutzmacher had the pole here tonight. Spun it on the start, so he's been trying to battle to get back up at that front, but he's still been there in the hunt. And it looks like, again, just that outside lane is the better place to be.
It is. And Cole Macheski, it's not going to take him a while, I believe, to go and run down the leader of Alexander Hammonds either.
No. Both of those guys, though. Remember before the caution, though, they were coming through the field.
They were, and they were coming through it pretty fast as well. So was Vincent, who's right now sitting in 5th.
His last lap is actually right there with him. A bit off just a little bit, but he's maintaining pace with those guys, too. Another one, though, man, it's trying to get back to the field. Man, we were talking about how his pit stop was. He's moved up to 8th spot now. That's Boyles.
Yeah, Boyles, he's on the move forward. Clores, he's fallen back a little bit as well. Those were kind of the 3 we saw before the caution that were battling up front. So 2 of them staying towards their Clore, not exactly sure what happened with the 72.
Yeah, because his pit stop was fine.
He restarted only a single spot behind Grutzmacher. I think restarted 5th or 7th on the restart.
Well, you know, and we got to go back to, like we said, we talk about the open setup here in the series here in the Spartan Sim Racing Master Series. It could be. I mean, we're obviously not in the car. We're not there, you know, with them. But it could just be you know, these guys always try to make their car better as the run goes. Sometimes, I mean, you can make that wrong choice on pits and the car go backwards.
It could be loose and you think it's tight and you put it looser, or you went way too much on the adjustment and you made it too loose when you just needed to loosen it up a little bit.
And we've seen that in real life too. I mean, you know, guys come in and say, hey, look, maybe adjust a little bit on it. I don't know what we need. You know, try something. They try something. Good thing is, though, it is early on in the race. Try it now. It's not like later on in the race when the car's falling off. You definitely want to try to figure out, okay, maybe that was a bad, whatever I did, man, let's put it back to where it was. I was good before, and then maybe go from there. So we'll see if we can figure it out. But right now, running back in 15th and, you know, not too far off, about 12 seconds back from the leader here. It's, you know, Hammond's out front. All in all, though, been a pretty clean race, though.
It is a pretty clean race, and the gap stabilized between Hammonds and Kolmacheski to about 0.4 of a second as well. I think the gaps everywhere have kind of stabilized. There's some guys that are, it's kind of like a, if I had to say, I wouldn't say a seesaw, but more of an accordion, where one lap it kind of closes, the other it kind of widens, then it closes and it widens.
Yeah. Well, I was watching lap times, and usually a lot of tracks, man, lap times are, you know, kind of right there with each other. But one lap, you know, like the leader runs a 12, the guy behind him runs an 8, and then, you know, Grutzmacher runs a 27, then he just ran a 15, and Jurgensen ran a 28, 09, 14. So, like you said, it's like one lap's running pretty good, and the next lap, boom, it, you know, kind of seesaws back in a different one.
Yeah, and it's really fun, which I love looking at the lap times and stuff, because it kind of tells me about how quickly, if this pace continues, if they were able to hit the exact same lap in, lap out, which never going to happen, might I say. Just because tire fall off does exist, and you're going to be running slower later on in the run than the start of the run. If that would happen, how fast it would take for, say, Boyles to go up and pass Hammonds. I just love to look at that data. I love being a data person. It's so fun to watch. It's so fun to look at.
Whoa! That's the leader around right in front of Hammond, Grusmacher, Cole Macheski. Man, they brought a caution out, and well, what a save by Cole Macheski, not to run at him, but we were just talking and watching, and that's kind of unusual that car got out, unless he just got into some marbles or something, and because he was way up the track.
Marbles or even there, which he's way up in the.
Yeah,
I think that is mostly marbles.
Yeah, I think it got him dirty just a little bit, and watch it one more time here. I mean, he goes up the track, nothing unusual right there. He sees the 2. Goes up the track again. He got way up there that time, and I think that's just dirty tires.
I'm right there with you. He was running where his left sides were in the traction of the tire where put down, or the rubber put down on the track.
Yeah.
But when he lost it, I mean, he was maybe inches off the wall where there was almost no rubber at all.
Yeah, and so good and the bad is obviously he was close enough to the wall that he didn't really hit it that hard to maybe, obviously, hopefully not, damage the car too much. Good side also too is Cole Macheski was heads up enough to where he didn't get too much into him, bump him, hurt his car. It could have been really disastrous for both of those runners up front.
And very much good. Great heads up by the 69. I mean, he touched the spinning coal of Hammonds a couple times, but it wasn't like a egregious, absolutely ram into him.
And that's, look, there's debate about on this car, and it has been since it's come out, the next gen car. How do I say it? To me, this car is almost, it's like a Matchbox car. When it flips or hits something, it kind of just like bounces off of things instead of crumbles like the old cars used to do. And I know the talk was all that energy goes into the driver, and if it's a physics thing, folks. And I don't know. Sometimes, I mean, this car maybe it's too durable. Is kind of what I'm getting at.
Just a little bit, I would say.
Yeah, it doesn't have the crumple that we see a lot of other ones. So a little bump, basically like that right there we was talking. Excuse me, even though Cole Macheski looks like he might have a little optional repair to do back in the back. We just didn't see it. Probably wouldn't affect the car too bad. But he did have a long pit stop, and a minute pit stop, 17 seconds. So it put him back here in the 12th place spot. Restarting Hammonds had a little bit there, so maybe some cosmetic stuff that we weren't able to see because the car looks pretty clean, by the time we looked at it. But still might be just a punched-in fender here and there. Let's go back green, though. Grusmacher back up front. Don't put it in first gear this time, my man. Pace car's in, and he gets going this time.
Yeah, I think he learned from the initial start of the race. It wasn't at first, and he had a great launch as well. He was completely clear of Jorgensen way before entering into turn 1.
Yeah, you see Jorgensen right there with Boyles. Jorgensen has the top lane. Boyles, they're going to try to battle as fast as he can. Had a little loose coming out of that turn, but he had to try to make that pass to get out of there. It's on the back door there of Grusmacher. So that's the battle for the lead. You kind of see that inside slipping just a little bit, but oh man, Grusmacher going to give him the outside.
Grutzmacher gave it to him, and I'll tell you what, he had a great run through 3 and 4, so Boyles wasn't able to use the momentum. But then there's Boyles, that diamonding we saw him early on before the first caution. He was running that again. Let him get a run into 3, but then he kind of got trapped on the inside.
I see that right now. You see Boyles. I mean, he is trying everything he can. Got to the fender there, rear end of Grutzmacher. He's going to go to the inside and see if he can't do anything with him. They'll come door to door. If he can do anything coming out of the turn. I mean, he's had a pretty good solid car, but I don't know. The outside's been pretty hard to pass.
Outside, I'd say, is definitely the best place to sit if you want to defend your position. And kind of saw it. I'm going to talk about the IRL race about as well. I'm sorry, I just completely blanked for a second. The IRL race, the outside, especially on the green-white checkered start, the outside was where you wanted to be just because you could get the momentum. And if there was a faster car behind you, chances are they thought you were going to stick the bottom because that was the typical racing line,
right? The
preferred one throughout most of the race. So they'd run to the outside, and you could just kind of scoot up in front of them and block them as Grutzmacher haul into the wall through 1 and 2.
Yeah, unfortunate right there. And I think
we stay green,
caution. Though. We did. Let's see if we can't go back. Let's see if I can't see that one again. Right here, Grutzmacher's in the blue car, and see what happened to him. Oh, him spun, but to the outside. Wow, really?
Just snapped on him mid-corner.
Yeah, that was kind of just unusual characteristic there. I mean, let me rewind it back here. I want to look at something real quick since I don't have a reference point to go back on the record. Did he shift? Did he do anything? Let's watch from inside the car here, because that thing just... I don't know. That's weird. I don't know what would have caused that.
That's one of those weird instances.
Yeah, I'm stumped on that one there, Wes. I mean, normally we could say, okay, it looked like a setup or something, but for a car to snap like that, the only thing that come on top of my head is maybe drove it into that turn a little bit too much.
Maybe just a little bit. And he was definitely fine. Him and Boyles were side by side for several laps.
On the right too much. Well, okay. And the only way you get too much load on the right rear is obviously going hot in the turn.
Oh, hello, Gage.
What's up, Gage? Yeah, that's true. Could have on that one. That's brake bias could play. I mean, it was just a weird spin. And Kibby has taken over the lead. So Kolmacheski has actually, and Boyles is actually following back Kibby. Man up front right now.
Yeah, and Clore followed him through as well. What happened to Boyles?
Let me see if I can go back here. Let me go back here. Kibby. Go with Kibby here. Let's see if we can get out. See Boyles right there, leading. Kibby right there in the third place spot. Yeah. Watching this pass on the leader, and you can see they gain on him coming out of the turn. He goes high like normal. Oh, contact between the two. Okay. That'll do it every time. All right. It cost Boyles a couple spots there. Got him back in the third. Starting to see, though, Boyles and we were just talking with Grusmacher and just saw Grusmacher there, starting to look like those cars, even on the high side, are getting a little bit loose. I think not looking as quite as stable as they were. Don't know if maybe that's just how they maybe changed a little bit on their setups. As Mark Sanchez now coming out one of them. So. Wow, the track's changing out here.
The track is definitely changing it, and I'm not sure what exactly is causing it either. But you're right, some of those guys that have been running the high line, they're starting to kind of snap, and it's getting a little worrisome.
apologize about that, folks. But we had a caution, man, here, Wes. Saw it right there on the replay. Unfortunately, man, Jorgensen, who was up front earlier, spinning.
Yeah, and there was just a little bit of running into each other in corner exit there, so nothing really wrong on either driver's side. Just a racing incident.
Yeah. We're set to go back green here. Man up front, though, right now, Shane Clore found his way back up front. Got Cole Macheski there with him. Pace car's him going back green. It's been an outstanding race here at Bristol here tonight, though, for these guys.
It has. We've had great green flag runs, and it's been, I wouldn't say it's been a snooze fest for those that are watching, but it's not been wrecking every 2 seconds.
Right, and it's been, I think, you bring it up, it's been some good, battles on the track. We've seen some, kind of some unusual things, man, for a Bristol race, but for the most part, these guys have done an outstanding job here, man. Clore up front there. You've got Cole Macheski now hanging on there in third. Boyles has been able to battle back and get up back up here. And now you got Vincent right here too, man, looking strong. Alex Carr right there, man, sitting in the sixth place spot.
Oh, another spin around. 36 of Carr, 29 of Sanchez.
Oh, let's see what happened here. I collected a few of them too, man. Sanchez and Greg Carr. Oh, man, I knew Greg Carr, man. Greg's not had the best night, but kind of see what happened here to the 29. Oh, he just lost it. We've seen that all night long, and actually looks like Carr maybe tried to woe up, and that car just did not want to woe up and kind of got around on him. So caution out, and that's something we've seen all night long here, man. Wes, cars get out from under them. You talked about it earlier before the race. These guys out here battling, in the fixed setup, being really, really tight. So they're having to come from that. And a lot of times, you could just make that one little adjustment or go a little bit too far and make that car a little bit too loose out here.
Yeah, that very well could have been what they've done. Is they've completely went through and did almost a full 180 from tight to loose. So, and I know not some guys, at least on the truck side, I'm not sure about over here in Cups, but they'll run both C open and C fixed lobbies for practices.
That's smart. That'd be smart. We should be past halfway now.
We are, so I'd say, they're still going to have to make one more stop for fuel regardless, I would think.
Yeah. And I don't think we're out of the realm of the cautions. Hope so. Hope we go caution free. I know, admins up there love it, but it is short track racing, folks, and sometimes short track racing, man, it brings about some, good old fashioned wrecking. And as a viewer, I know everybody likes what that old saying, I come to see the wrecks at the race. Which I don't know, that's kind of changed over the years. That was a comment of the old days. Now I think a lot of people, man, sometimes they go, now I want to come to see a good race, some good, fighting and battling and stuff. Although I know you still got the crowd out there that probably likes the race.
Oh yeah, there's always going to be people that are here for a wreck fest or just watching cautions, because NASCAR, whether we're in NASCAR, Euro NASCAR, NASCAR Mexico, wherever it is, which version of NASCAR, it's one of the only series where really you talk about contact between cars almost every single lap. Everywhere else, car contact would seem as taboo.
It is. Right now as we get to go back green, man, a battle up front here with Boyles and Clore. And we've seen Boyles utilize that high side a lot of times tonight. And like you was talking about, that diamond and off the turns, he's been able to do that quite well. These two guys were battling, earlier on. So we've got some Holloman fans out there right now. Holloman not doing too bad. I mean, he's back here in 7th. He's had an up and down race so far. So Cluer wins the battle up front. But, just to touch on real quick what you're saying right there before, a lot of times when people talk, obviously NASCAR, guys get out there beating and banging, you talk about that. But, road racing, you don't really talk a lot about beating and banging in it because it's more of a gentleman's sport, unless you talk about V8 supercars. And if you've ever watched those guys, holy cow, I'm going, now, yes, they still have the normal stewards, and, they can only go so far. But I've seen those guys get out there, man, and do a lot of rubbing with each other, a lot more than what you would see on a road race. And I'm sitting there going to myself, wow. So, yeah, that's the only other one I would probably think of road race-wise that would even come close to maybe a NASCAR-style racing.
And to be fair with the V8 supercars, it's kind of, and you want to talk about how good it is to transition from V8 to NASCAR. Look at Shane Van Gisbergen.
Yeah.
Like that's where he came from. Same thing with Marcus Ambrose in the 2010s. He came from V8s. So it kind of does parallel into NASCAR a little bit. Granted, they have to make the switch from it being a right-hand drive car to a left-hand drive. And there's not as much aero on it. So right. Downforce level's a little different, but I agree it's a very similar car, and those guys, I think they're more wild than NASCAR is at points.
Oh, they are sometimes, man. It's a wild racing, and right now, man, kind of picking up a little bit, and I'm starting to see some of the cars up there, banging off the wall, kind of traditional. You see here coming off the turn, you see it Bristol. But the man out front, Cluer, Cole Macheski's made the pass. Hammond's right now trying to make that pass on looks like Boyles. Boyles actually falling back to 4. But, you talk about the transition, and that's a huge topic. We're under caution. Nicotera.
Art Nicotera, he crashed and ended up getting a tow.
See what happened to him. He's in at 17. Oh, got them marbles. Yeah, bam, right in the wall. You can see it right there. I mean, he just got in the loose stuff. And that thing instantly came right around on him. Boom. Nothing you can do at that point. You get up there, man, it slicks when they're hot. Pick up all that dirt, rubber, rocks, or anything that might be up there. And you can forget about it, man. You're just going to have no grip coming out of that. You can see it actually right there. Good picture showing you just all the rubble and the trash up there at the top of the track.
And we talk about marbles. It's not actual like the crystal marbles that you play with as a kid. We call them marbles because they look like marbles. They're just bits of rubber that have flown off the cars away from where the cars are typically running. And for the most part, they collect up there at the very top of the track. Yeah. Now, and some tracks, they collect down on the bottom of the track just because the highlight is the preferred area to race.
Yeah, you're right.
But like what you said, Joe, with how hot your tires are, they will collect marbles like no other if you get in them. And it just completely throws off the tire, and it's easy to lose traction.
Yeah, and especially the speed to run and the angles, and we talk about that a lot too, man, getting up there. It's just one of those racing deals, man. You get up there, dirty tires definitely will. I mean, even we just referenced road racing. You get on road racing and kind of get off the track a little bit and get some dirt, or dirt may get flung up on the track, which can easily happen. And sometimes you run through that, you got to be careful the next couple turns, man, until those tires kind of, self-clean themselves and whatnot. You see it a lot in IndyCar and open wheel style racing. But yeah, tonight, man, getting up there too close to that wall. I've seen a couple guys, man, hit it. But, we were talking there before that caution, and, you talked the transition between road racing and into NASCAR. Some series are very tough to do that. You mentioned the V8 supercar. Those two cars alone, obviously being the Camaro and the Mustang.
Well, now they have the Supra there.
They do now, yeah. And it's close. Well, I'm going to NASCAR closely built this next gen car to what a GT3 car is, which is obviously close to what the V8 supercar is. Now there's some major differences in them, but road race wise. So I'm going along with you. I feel like with this next gen car, that has what has made jumping from those series GT3s, the V8 supercar, into these NASCAR next gens, an easier transition. I don't want to say it is totally easier, but an easier transition than what it was in the older ones. We're set to go back green. Pace cars in. Clore's been up front. Cole Macheski there, but and Clore says, I am gone this time. Here comes Boyles.
Yeah, Clore clear through instantly. And Cole Macheski, he was able to follow through, but now it's going to be Boyles on the inside as Cole Macheski. Wow. I think he got on the wall right there off of 2.
But you see Hammonds coming out of that turn. I mean, he held on to that thing. It was a wild ride. That thing was fishtailing coming out of the turns. Wow.
That's not what you want to do in the fight. It's a good thing you got it back under control.
Yeah, and well, a good heads up there, too, by Boyles, as Boyles easily could have tapped him while he was going, side to side right there. And, send him on sailing into the wall, but luckily, man, that Boyles, kind of backed out of it a little bit. Let him give some room to gather it back up, and Cole Macheski's right there, too. Vincent, Vincent's been kind of quiet all night long, but he's been up front there, though.
He was up there a little bit when we saw him and I think it was it Cole Macheski or Boyles that got in trouble?
One of them, yeah. It's, Gruschmacher's still in the back there, and that was one of those up there. I think it was Cole Macheski or one of those guys up there did get in trouble earlier.
Well, and he also came flying up through the field early on in the race, so him up there in 5th don't surprise me too much.
Yeah, he come at 13 spots right there, hard charger for the night. I mean, he's got Cole Macheski right there in front of him. He's up 11. Hammond's up 11, sitting in 2nd. Another man right here, too, been kind of quiet. Kibbe, right? He's up 3 spots there in 6th. Holloman still doing an outstanding job, up 9, hanging on there into the 7th. Alex Carr, 2 there in the 8th. Jorgensen hanging on the 9th. And Medina, remember, got in that contact early on, spun. Still trying to, hang on to it out here, man, to come out with a good finish. The damage, yeah, it's affecting him probably a little bit, but not too much. He was in the 10th place, but Greg Carr just took that, so he's right there in 11th right now.
Yeah, sorry, I just kind of blinked out for a second there. But yeah, just running through the field. They've had some ups and downs. You talked about Medina and Greg Carr. Greg Carr, I think he's been involved in 2 accidents throughout the night. So kind of leveled out at 10th. Grutzmacher, we've seen him in a couple accidents. I think he's still repairing damage as well. Every time he goes down into the pit road under caution, he's doing a little bit of damage repair from when he slapped the outside wall.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like he's getting it straightened out pretty good from that angle right there. It doesn't look, it looks clean to me, but obviously, it could be something, small that we're just not seeing. But he is trying to work his way back to the field right now. He's back there in that 12th place spot. He's still got time. I mean, he's still got plenty of time to get up here. I wouldn't really start, if you're back there where he's at and that far off. He's only 5 seconds off from the leader. But, yeah, I really wouldn't start kind of sweating a little bit, maybe 50 to go here at a short track, and 40, 50 or so. Then I'd maybe kind of start sweating on, okay, I need to make a move to keep going and go. We're well over 100 left here, so he's still got a little bit of time to try to strategize and see what he needs to do to get up front.
Yeah, I wouldn't sweat it out in the slightest either. So it's plenty of time. We talked about it, 350 laps, just barely south of 220. So you still got a while to go, and it's still, you can make mistakes and rebound from it. Now, when we get to within 100, even with, I'd say, but especially within 50 or 75, you want to be mistake-free. So get your little jitters out now while you can.
And also, too, we've talked about tonight, pit stops, making the adjustments they need. You get in that last 100 laps, especially on a track like this, definitely within about, like you said, 40, 70. You want to make sure that what you've got is what you've got. Now, sure, caution could come out between there and you can go into pits. But at that point, you don't want to make some wild change unless you're 100% sure. Maybe small change at that point. But I'd say by the time you get to that 100, like you said, 70 laps to go mark, your big changes are, hopefully you've got it set up right or close.
Definitely you're going to want to hope you have it close. And even if it's early on, like, I know we touched on it, you can do a huge change and then you can get back with it if you notice you went the wrong way or went too much.
Yeah. Look at Shane Clore.
But
remember earlier in the race?
Yeah, earlier in the race we talked about he went backwards. Now it seems like he got on the straight and narrow. And at the same time, as soon as you feel like you got your car perfect, Bristol's going to change on you. You got to keep on adjusting. There's no, it's going to be this forever. No, you got to keep adjusting with the track as rubber gets laid down, and you can see it right now. See how black and dark those corners are. It wasn't like that at the start of this race, and I guarantee you just more of it's going to get laid down every lap.
Yeah, absolutely. And and that's like you said, you got to be able to adjust that car. And right now you wanting it to get to that point of where, okay, my big adjustments, I'm good. Little small adjustments and work on them as the race ends to the end. But Clore's been able to find something right now. Is out front. Hammond's there with him. Cole Macheski now hanging on there in the third. Vincent up in the fourth. Boyles, man, hanging on to the fifth place spot. He's been kind of up and down throughout the field. Alex Carr now kind of closing in. He's right there in the sixth. Kibbe hanging on the seventh. And Greg Carr behind him, along with Jorgensen and Sanchez, too. Remember, Sanchez spun earlier, but the battle back and get up back here to 10th.
Just great rebounds by everybody. No reason to be upset. We talked about it. It is a little bit of a smaller field, so don't got to worry about it being set back too much. But even then, it's still 18 cars, and whenever you look at it, Bristol, the 18's plenty enough to have to drive through with how hard it can be to pass here.
Yeah, and two, it's kind of a double-edged sword. We talk about, the short field and come through it. But there again, that shorter field on it, too, it makes for some of the top and the best of the best here at the Master Series here at the Spartan Sim Racing League. So it's even tougher to make up some of those passes because you really got to be on your game plan. Look at old Sanchez coming up here to 9th place spot.
Yeah, he just got around Jorgensen, and he's still kind of hunting. He's going to be working, if I can talk, oh my God. He's looking forward seeing Greg Carr and Chad Kibbe side by side in the turns, and he's just going to slowly reel them in as they do, but Carr finally able to get clear of Kibbe.
What's wild is there's only 5-second gap between 9th and the leader.
Yeah.
Close.
It seems like it is a large gap, 5 seconds. If 5 seconds into super speed, or not a super speedway, but a speedway, it seems like forever. Bristol, that's maybe the length of the straightaway.
And I talk when I talk about road racing a lot of times what it takes gap wise. Now, yes, 5 seconds on NASCAR is a pretty good lead to have. 1 second is a pretty good lead. When it comes to road racing, though, 5 seconds can be wiped out in one turn. Definitely 1 second can be. So you want those big, 8-10 second gaps to really be sure in case anything happens. But still, I'm just kind of impressed with, the front pack of this field because I go all the way back to 10th place spot. Like I said, it's a little over 5 second gap between up to Clore. So that takes us here to what Sanchez, he knows that, okay, look, I've got a little time. I'm running about as quick as the leader, and a little quicker about right at the same times. I mean, I'm watching the lap times between the top 9, or actually 10. This is probably the closest I've seen consistency-wise. I mean, it's within, I'm going to say, it's a couple times they jump back and forth, but 10th and a half of each other, something like that. Cole Macheski is the only one I'm seeing right now kind of off the pace. Although, are we in lap traffic? That's another thing. No, it looks like, not yet, but
Not yet.
Yeah, Kolmacheski, I was watching his lap times there. He kind of fell that last time. He could have been trying to battle a little bit, but he sees that battle in front of him, and that's Vincent and Hammond.
Yeah, and it's going to allow Kolmacheski to get right up to him, and Clore's going to scamper off just a little bit as well.
And that might have been what Kolmacheski got up there with those two guys battling and kind of slowed him down on the one lap. But you do, yeah, it's going to help Clore. Clore's loving, man, what he's saying. He's going to, you guys battle all you want back there. I'll keep walking off into the sunset.
Yeah, he's having a nice little Sunday night drive.
You got Hammonds right now, man, hanging on to second. Vincent, man, got to give him everything he can and always slip. And that's going to hurt because that's going to put Kolmacheski and Boyles right there on him. And actually might bring old Alex Carr up here, too. Ain't Greg Carr?
Yeah, Boyles, he's working on it. He should be clear here. He is off of 4. So now it's going to be Alex Carr lined up to the outside of the 33 with the 36 of Greg Carr right behind him.
Yeah, wow. So Vincent slipped a little bit. He's stuck on that inside, probably not where he wants to be. They're all able to get around him. Luckily, though, well, I said Greg Carr wasn't going to. Carr said, man, heck with it. I'm going down low. Tried it.
Now Vincent, he tried to go low and maybe gave a small bump to Alex. Both of them keep it straight though, and no position changes either.
Yeah, good battle right here. That's around about the 5th, 6th, 7th place spot. And you see Boyles right there in front of it too, and Alex Carr, man, right now is feeling racy. He's looking on the inside of Boyles. So if you can't take that spot away from him, runs him way up the track. Boyles gets way up there. He's up there in that loose stuff, and I think I slowed him down.
It definitely did. I think he kind of saw, and are we looking 3 wide there? Boyles backed out of that one.
Yeah, Wes, but 3 wide, super speedway, 4 wide, that'll work. Here at Bristol, I don't know how well that works out too well.
According to I still call them the Xfinity, but the O'Reilly drivers on Saturday, it works out real well. You can do it.
Did he wreck?
No, they kept it clean. Every single time we saw a 3 wide, it was fine. At one point, there were 4 wide at Bristol.
I don't know about all that. That's kind of like nerve-wracking.
I thought there was a wreck, but there never was.
Yeah, I don't know about trying it. I guess you can get lucky every once in a while. It's just, y'all guys, I don't advise it out there. Just say it. If you want to make it exciting, go ahead.
Make it exciting, but keep it clean as well.
Yeah, there you go.
Anyways, Greg and Alex, they both got through of Vincent and Boyles.
Yeah, Clore right now in some lap traffic, but he does have a 3. He's going to extend that lead 3 seconds over those guys. That's kind of the biggest lead we've seen all night there. You've got Hammonds, Kolmacheski, both of the cars, Alex and Greg Carr right there, nose to tail. Vincent, Boyles, fortunately falling back to the 7th. Sanchez right there in the 8th. He's coming up through the field. Jorgensen right there in 9th. But Grusmacher still holding on to the 10th place spot.
Yeah, it's Clore. He's got that nice gap, and then 2nd through 8th is almost nose to tail on the track.
Ooh, they are battling. Oh. That Hammond's in the wall a little bit. And where did Greg Carr come from? All of a sudden, boom. And Greg turned the wick up on that thing, didn't he?
He definitely has, and we know Greg, he's typically good. He saves his stuff throughout the run and kind of lets the other cars fall back towards him as they burn their stuff up. I think he felt like he saved enough, and they're not dropping pace, really. They're kind of maintaining it. But Greg's like, you know what? I've sat back enough. I'm going to go attack, maybe get the 72 a little bit under pressure.
Yeah, right now, and I mean, you can see it. Hammond's there. You've got Vincent right there behind him, but man, Greg Carr kind of pulled away by a second on Hammond's in that group back there. So I'm like you. He's actually running about a tenth and a half quicker than Clore that last lap. Let's see, now it's still a tenth. Now, you know, Clore dealt with a little bit of lap traffic, but a clean track. We'll see what happens here. And when they cross the line this time by 17. That was 17 to a 12, so he's still a little bit quicker. Only problem is he's going to have to contest with this lap traffic just like Clore did. These guys back here, man, they're battling. Hammond's falling off the pace a little bit.
Yeah, Hammond's, he's going back. So's the 69 of Cole Macheski. Grutzmacher, he kind of sat and rode for a bit. Now he seems like he's gotten up into this mix. He's going to start working his way through traffic.
Now, also another thing, Greg Carr pitted on lap 187 as opposed to these guys up here pitting on lap 178. So some of this could be tires. That advantage, almost 8 lap different tires, which is kind of what I'm seeing with the lap times. He ran a 16:15 to 16:20. So he's running about a half tenth to a tenth faster. So that kind of would make sense, you know, tire-wise. You got to go back here to Sanchez. Munzer said he's moving through the field. He put at lap 201 with Grutzmacher 201. So at some point, I think we're going to start seeing what we are seeing Sanchez come through the field, and some of the other tires maybe start going away. So that brings up that question of when do you pit, or if you pitted at lap 201, do you pit again? You know, because they said fuel-wise, they might be able to go 150 laps here.
Yeah, that's just what I estimated, and I think, and you agreed with me. So if they pitted at 201, I think they're fine to go all the way to the end. Fuel-wise, at least, again, we don't know anything about what these tires are going to do. So I'd say stay out unless your tires tell you need a new set.
Well, what I'm seeing, you know, Clore, not so much Clore, but let's watch right here. Hammond, excuse me, who pitted at 178. We're getting to that point where it's about 100 laps on that set of tires. So 50 more laps is what we're talking about that, you know, Sanchez and then would have to go. This is kind of what we're seeing, maybe starting to see the huge fall off of the tires. It's right at that 100 lap mark, 90 to 100 lap mark, because, you know, they put it at 178. We're at 269, so we're, you know, give or take about 9 laps off of being 100. I feel like, yeah, I mean, I don't know that Sanchez is going to go push it all the way. We do have pit stops underway right now for some guys, but I'm with you on that one. I think the tires is the issue other than fuel. And from what I'm just kind of seeing, other than Clore's probably the only one, which there again, I say this, Wes, and then I just looked at his last lap times. He is about a tenth off of what Carr is. So, yeah, tires are going off, but I mean, he right now is actually still about the only one maintaining good pace.
His lap times really ain't changed that much, so he's probably preserved a good amount of his tires to where he can carry it on for as long as he needs. Now, he's going to need to pit for gas, but I think his tires are going to last until he absolutely needs to pit for gas.
And I'm with you there. The other one would be Alex Carr, ran a 16:06, but actually faster than the leaders up there. He pitted at lap 178 also. So he's the other one along with Vincent too. And, you know, we were talking about in that pack, but, you know, you see Grutzmacher and Sanchez are coming through this pack here. And they're slowly but surely picking off those guys that pitted at lap 178. So I don't know if their plan is to stay out. If they get a caution at the right point, well, that might be another thing. I mean, that's something else I have to think about.
Yeah, and we talked about it pre-race. It's going to be when cautions fly is really going to determine when they come in further tires, because they had a lot of sets available to them if they needed it.
Yeah, and nobody has used them up. I mean, a lot of these guys have only pitted 3 times, so they definitely have a lot. I mean, yeah, it says shows Carr pitted 6 times, but I think he's went in there a lot to get some damage because he spun earlier. So I think a lot of these guys have plenty sets left. right now, Kluwer's the man. Carr's trying to, and Carr is running him down. He's down to 1.6 seconds now, so almost a 10 lap difference in tires do make a difference here, and it's, that's very rare that I say that. The tires make a big difference on a race, because normally on iRacing, a lot of these tracks, it's all about that track position, and usually the advantage you get from tires is just not enough to warrant, taking the risk of falling so far behind you never make up that gap.
Yeah, I agree with you. Typically, it is the track position race, but short tracks, track position don't matter. Dirty air don't really matter. It's best tires kind of wins it. Now, if it was a larger field, I'd say track position might matter.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Kluwer still out front leading. Got the man right there with him, Greg Carr. Alex Carr, too, so the Carr gang man up there looking strong. Grusmacher make that pass on Vincent. Well, he made it yet, but he's trying to. He's harassing him a little bit. There, he made it. So we're getting down here to closing, less than 100 to go here tonight. Spartan Sim Racing League, man, Master Series. Outstanding race here at Bristol tonight, folks, man. But been a long one. We're going to step away, take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back, man, and get the conclusion of this one here at Bristol.
And then if you want to, just a little bit about how the foundation helped you.
I was in a pretty serious deal, as most people know about. It's a pretty tough deal, very traumatic for my family. A lot of stuff that we went through that people would never understand. Without the assistance from the Steve King Foundation and several other donors as well, we could have come out of that thing in financial ruin. But it just takes a lot out of your family just to go through rehabilitation, all the medical bills. There's so many hidden expenses and stuff that you would never know about until you actually get involved in something like that. And and even if you help somebody out with 500 or 1,000 or 100, whatever it is, it means a ton to the person, just to be able to live and to get through these things. It takes an ungodly amount of money, time, effort, patience, with the families, the doctors, to be able to get through a traumatic experience. And, with the Steve King Foundation, that makes everything a lot better.
Hi, I'm Blaine Smith, the Executive Director of Team Red, White, and Blue, and I wanted to take a minute just to welcome you on board and let you know that we're proud to have you as a new member of our team. This short video is a way for us to give you an idea of what you can expect from your experience at Team Red, White, and Blue, and also what we expect from you in return. Something that's really, really important to the fabric of our organization is our Eagle ethos. It's just 6 words, but they mean a lot to us, and they guide us in all we do. Those 6 words: passion, positivity, people, commitment, camaraderie, and community are more than just organizational values. They're what we're all about and what we strive to work for in all of our programs and in every single one of our interactions. The next thing I want you to know is that we are an inclusive organization by design. We're open to veterans of all eras, of all ages, branches of service, combat experience, as well as active duty service members, their families, their friends, and just supportive members of the community that come out and take part in our mission. Every single person is important to what we do. All are welcome, and we look forward to seeing you all out there. Welcome to Team Red, White, and Blue. Thank you so much for joining our team. My name is Mike Irwin, and I have the honor to serve as the Executive Director. When I founded Team RWB in 2010, our initial focus centered on veteran transition and reintegration into civilian life. But as the large-scale deployments have slowed down, the military's ability to support reintegration has improved, hundreds of thousands of veterans have used their GI Bill, and companies have prioritized hiring veterans, the overall mental, physical, and emotional health of the veteran community still has a long way to go. And Team RWB has a major leadership role to play. And that means that we need you. We need you to close out this video and to know that you didn't just join a listserv or download an app. You joined a team composed of real people, over 200,000 strong, who are veterans on active duty in the National Guard or reserves or civilian supporters. And these people, who we refer to as the Eagles, want you to get involved in Team RWB. Why is it so important for you to become an active member of the team? Because when you do, we know that it will improve your mental and physical health, help you to develop new and meaningful relationships in your life, and provide you with a sense of purpose that comes from belonging to something bigger than yourself. Over the past decade, veterans struggling with the invisible wounds of war and post-military life have told us how important physical fitness has been to them. Running has helped veterans battle nightmares. Triathlons have helped with headaches, and CrossFit has enabled them to sleep better. These fitness activities, along with others, have made them more confident and healthy people. Unfortunately, millions of veterans have forgotten about the power of physical training in their lives. So as you get involved and see the power of Team RWB in your own life, I hope that you feel inspired to reach out to other veterans and encourage them to follow in your footsteps. In closing, I want to again thank you for stepping forward and joining Team Red, White, and Blue. We're fired up to have you on the team, and I know that you're going to be flying the Eagle with pride for a long time.
All right, folks are back, and man up front, old Shane Clore, he's been able to lead it. The lead's still maintaining around 1.3 seconds, but you remember we talked about earlier in the race, once he gets into lap traffic, usually, man, he is stuck in some lap traffic, and he has been stuck in it. And Wes, only 6 cars are left on the lead lap. Now, we've been talking at what point? Because to me, right now, if Clore pits, this race is pretty much over.
I'm completely in agreement with you, and you say we only have 6 cars on the lead lap. It's about to go down to 5. Sanchez, he's seen the 72 grow bigger and bigger in his mirror every single lap.
Yeah, it's 15 seconds between them, and yeah, Sanchez, who was up there, which there again, let's go on board with Sanchez, because we're just not going to be able to tell here on this track whether or not he's saving anything or not. But is this surprising that the fact that maybe Clore could go the distance here?
I highly doubt he's going the distance for 170 laps.
Yeah, but the more he stays out here at this time on a green flag stop.
Yeah,
Bruschmacher's the only other one out there that's been out there for 201.
Yeah, we're as well. I want to remind everyone, we're estimating when we're talking about how long they can go on fuel. But we estimated 150 laps. Now the Cup cars IRL today said they could go 175, 180.
Okay.
But I'm not sure how much that carries over to iRacing.
Well, now, since you said that, I will say then, and I'll say it in, I'm 95 to 97%. Okay, so I'm always going to leave that little bit of percentage there. Clore's not pitting. And the reason all right, because you got to break it down now, there's going to be what, about 30 laps left. He pits now, his race is over, because it's going to take him, even if he doesn't have to fully fuel that car, you're still looking at a 15, 14 second pit stop for tires.
Yeah.
It's 15 seconds for a lap. You're going a lap down. Greg Carr or Gruschmacher's going to come around him. There's only a 3-second gap between them. I just don't, at this point now, unless a caution flies now, folks. And if I was a betting man, I'm going to say that Clore, none of those top 5 are coming into pit at this point.
No.
I feel pretty comfortable now saying that, just by looking at what laps we have. Obviously, before when we were talking around what 260, 265, sure, but now we're looking at this lap 321. You're getting in that helm of 25 laps. There's no way he's going to be able to make up that much distance. He would have to make up almost 2 laps down. He just would run out of time at this point. So, what's that old saying? They say, made the bed and lay in it and hope, man, it's the right choice.
Yeah, and I want to also say that, and this is one thing that I don't like with iRacing with Bristol. Pit lanes, if you're watching the IRL races, during the caution, it's the single long pit lane where you enter coming into or exit a 2 and exit pit lane on the entry to 1. That's
Right.
how it is for this race here. And that's how it is under caution IRL. Under green IRL, you can just go into whichever pit lane you have, since there is that dual pit lane here at Bristol. But iRacing, you cannot do that. It is either full 1 or full 2. There is no split depending on caution or green.
Now,
And it takes about a minute to go down the whole length of it being one continuous pit lane.
Now, obviously, Gruschmacher's moved up in the second. I don't know how much that maybe Clore could be saving. The only thing we're seeing riding here with him, he's not shifting, he's not doing anything like that. Normally, you wouldn't tend to do that at a short track. It's going to be all about how when you let off that throttle. And he is letting it cruise. He looks pretty smooth on it. Still a 3.8 second gap. The problem is, you see Gruschmacher's dealing with a little bit of lap traffic. I don't know. I mean, if in real life they can go 175, then Clore's fine. He's well in the realm of going the entire distance. His tires, on the other hand, they might be screaming by the end of it, but hey.
I think tires are always screaming at the end of a long run.
And you know, and I know it's awesome to say we're talking about Bristol all night long here. You know, we're at it, but to put that long green flag run exclamation right there too on this race just shows how good these guys have came throughout the season, and you know, the respect that's on the track too, and the top level it is here in the Master Series. To be able to go this distance, we went well over 100 laps now. Green, I believe it is. Well,
yeah,
since
we went green
178,
around 205. Actually, was the most recent caution.
Okay. Yeah.
Most recent restart. So, around 125 laps, and we're now within 20 to go. So, oh boy.
Now the bad thing though for Clore, and this is where it's showing up. Now, he did go through a little bit of lap traffic. It's all going to depend on Gruschmacher here. Grussmacher's got that lead down to 1.6. He has enough time to catch him. The thing about it is it all going to depend on how well he gets through this lap traffic. A lot of this is coming down to, he pitted on, remember, Grussmacher pitted on lap 201 to 178. Tires. This is, to me, this right here is all tires. You're starting to see him chew into that lead. Last lap they were kind of even time-wise. So,
well, and Vincent's way up into the wall as well through 3 and 4. He went and bumped it a couple times. We saw him up there as well. Grussmacher got through him easily.
Yeah.
But now you've also, and I want to point this out, lap traffic getting through them. You've got guys that just came out of the pits on new tires getting some of their laps back. That's also going to play a factor. It's not just you getting around lap traffic. It's lap traffic getting around you.
Yeah, and you know, we're talking about right here with Clore and Grussmacher. You know, Clore out front right now. That's a perfect example. That 26, you know, obviously coming in getting new tires. You don't want to battle with them too hard. Just let them go. And the more you battle with them, it's there. Because just that little pass right there got Grussmacher down to 0.80. He was at 1.5, 1.3, I believe, and that got him down to 0.80, 0.7. He's down to point. So he is coming, and Clore knows it. Now, the bad thing is, and here's what you hate as a leader. Look, I've only got what I got, and yeah, but Clore can't afford to get in too many other battles with the lap traffic, because just that right there, that Grussmacher closed the gap quite a bit.
Yeah, and he's only got about 11 laps left in the race. So he's only got to hold on for a little bit, and these laps, they're going to click by a minute. Every minute you have 4 laps, so we're looking at maybe 3 minutes total.
Yeah.
And I also know from just talking with Dylan that him and Clore are kind of friends. They'll sit there, they'll race, they'll share setups, experience, and pointers. But at the end of the day, they'll still race each other as though they're strong competitors, and they might hate each other.
Now,
but at the end of the day, they all laugh it out.
Here's another thing, too, right here. Now, Clore is really in a lot of it. But we just said on the flip side, Grussmacher just had Medina come around him, and it dropped him back to a second behind Clore, but then Clore just got shoved up a little bit. Now it's back down to 0.7, so it's back and forth. I know as a leader, you're probably out here like, look, you're either going to go or you're getting out of the way. What are you going to do? Oh, it's frustrating. I mean, and Carr on pit road, he's one of those that pitted at lap 178. I don't know. 1.7.
His tires might be screaming.
If Grussmacher is going to do anything, now's the time. He's got to get up there. I think these guys are pretty even. Their last lap was a 34-37. I think it's going to come down to this lap traffic, you know, and what Clore has to deal with here.
There's 2 cars between them. I think that's the 88 of Gerlach and the 88 of Gerlach and Medina. Couldn't quite tell. There's a lot of cars with the red.
And here comes the 33 who actually has just pitted. That's Vincent. And, you know, he's going to blow by. Oh, I said it was. You know what? That was a smart move by Vincent. Vincent was actually going to get so much momentum, he probably could have went into the leader. And he just checked up real hard so that he didn't. And now here's where Clore's got to be smart. Don't battle with this car, because you battle, that's going to bring Grussmacher right down your back door. Obviously, though, man, with 3 to go to cross the line, it's going to be 2 to go. I think Grussmacher's just going to run out of time.
I agree with you, unless Grussmacher is able to find the perfect amount of clean air. And Clore gets heavily backed up. He's got 3 cars between him and Dylan for second, so I think the 72, he's got a cushion.
And what does these lap cars behind him do?
Oh, and there's a spin into 3.
And that brings a caution out. And I'm going to tell you, this is what Clore did not want to see. Did not want to see. Wow. Let's go back and watch out this one more time. You saw Vincent had a way better tires than Medina. And then he just... Let's see if we can get another angle and maybe see if... I believe he will show us here. Maybe if Medina came up a little bit, or if they just... I don't know, he got on the wall, bounced off, maybe got into Medina. I'm gonna call it like that one. But wow, that's tough because this right here throws the whole dynamic of this race. This is what Clore did not.
I'm gonna give you a little bit of thing.
What's that?
Here. There's only 3 cars on the lead lap, right?
Yeah, Holman will get the lucky dog, so there'll be 4 when we go back.
So
Car stayed out.
Clore and Grutzmacher both in. Car's going to be out. Holloman, he's also pulled into pit lane. So those 4, they're going to start right on top of each other. And I'm going to say Car is going to be a little bit of a sitting duck. But then everybody is going to get the wave around, it seems, to get back onto the lead lap potentially. But they're also going to be on old tires. So it's kind of like I'd say it's going to be a 3 or 4 car shootout.
Let me ask a question, though. Car didn't pit. They're not going to get the wave around, are they?
Alex? Well,
Alex
he just
did not
pit
pit.
now.
Yeah, he is now. But he didn't pit with the leaders when it opened. I'm going to go with the old school way because there is a new way that they do this. And a gentleman I talked to who knew some people in the media field and stuff. But I'm going to go off the old way of how I've always heard it. If the leaders, everyone that was on the lead lap pitted when pit road opens, and everybody back a lap, everybody's lap down can get a wave around. But if one of those cars stays out, it negates that. But I know that has changed. Anybody out there, I could go back and research it again. It's changed how it's done. So, with that said, Car could have upset that dynamic a little bit because you don't see any cars in front of Clore right now, and we're still showing them a lap down. I think by him staying out that extra lap actually negated, I'm going on a limb, I could be wrong. Actually, well, no, I'm not wrong because it's still showing. Negated those guys from getting their wave around.
And that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes. Because this is putting Justin Boyles, which is the first one a lap down, in the back. We're going to go green, white, checkered. But it only puts Clore, Grutzmacher, Carr, and Holloman all out. But yeah, that set the field, and Clore's gone. That's what Clore needs. He needs going, and he's hoping he gets to that white flag.
Yeah, that's all he wants to see. He's only got one more set of corners. He was a set of corners away before the caution happened.
Yeah.
And oh, there it is, a spin.
White flag, though.
I think he got
One
to
more
the
time.
line.
He did. No caution. Unfortunately, Boyles around the back. Clore, though, man, sitting in second. The battle's going to be for third place right here. Is that Holloman? Ooh, Boyles got out of the way for him.
Carr's going to have it off a fork. Holloman spins across the line.
Yeah, because Holloman almost tried everything he could and was sliding coming across the line, but Alice Carr held on. Clore holds on. Wow, what a finish. Man, what a finish to that one. You know, and just to go back on that wave around thing, I had a feeling as soon as I saw Carr not go in, I thought, yeah, that's going to upset it. But there again, I knew that there was a supposedly another way that all that stuff goes about. And I didn't want to speak, too soon until I actually saw it. But, man, what a race here tonight.
I completely agree. Bristol, the last great Coliseum, and kind of mirrored what we saw at IRL as well. We had the green and white checkered because of a very late race caution, and it was not necessarily the battle for the lead where the car that took the inside was really loose and nearly spun out, but third place, Holloman and Carr, just tight as you can. Podium, it's always good to have, but either way, I'm really interested to see how that got called with the wave around cars. Because I'm with you, I would have thought we would have had a little bit more on the lead lap because of the wave around would have existed, but he stayed out that extra lap.
Well, to me, that was the old way. That was how the old way would have dictated it, was because he stayed out. But there is I'm going to say the new way, but I don't know the other way to say it. They changed the rules to where somehow that like a leader can stay out or a lap car can stay out and they still can get a wave around. I'd have to go back and research it. But to me, what I saw there, that goes off of how it was originally. If one lap car stays out, no matter if he's 5th place, 10th place, or the leader, if one lap car stays out and does not pit when the pit lane opens, does not pit with everyone else, you cannot get the wave around. That's how I've always known it, but evidently, and the reason I say this is because I ran into another race that I did, and it went wild, and I was like, wait a minute, I'm all confused now, and that's how I found out. So, and I can't move Dylan or Grutzmacher out of that room he's in, the motorcade lot.
I cannot either. Oh, there he goes.
Okay. All right. So, well, let's bring the man up here, Alex Carr, and let's get a word with him because, man, what a thriller here tonight.
Hey, Alex, is Wesley and Joe up in the booth? You got a copy?
I do, yes.
Well, Bristol, the last great Coliseum, it's always a fun one to come to. We were talking about it. The main question was pit stops for us. We weren't quite sure if it was 150 or 175 laps on a fuel tank, whether that meant possibly going with a one stop or not.
Yeah, I mean, it was possible, but especially early on, if you were trying to stretch it from the onset, as hard as everyone was running, probably wouldn't be able to make it there because of tires. In fact, my teammate Greg Carr actually popped a tire there on that final run, going a little bit too hard. So unless you were conscious and saved the whole time, it would be really hard to make it the distance on tires to outlast the fuel tank.
That's something Joe and I also talked about. Even if you could make it a single stop on fuel, we didn't think the tires would have lasted as long. Bristol, it's just a fun track. It's really quick. You are able to run a lot more laps on a fuel tank just because it is a half mile and such. But there's also just the wear of the tires. We did not knowing what type of compound iRacing had in the sim for it. If we were going to get the super chewable rubber that lasted only 60 laps versus an indestructible tire, I think they were in here maybe about 2 years ago, that you could basically put through 2 fuel cycles.
That's a big question too, but I think it was a good lesson tonight. A lot of people that run Bristol, especially as you're newer, they run it probably a little bit too hard. If you do get a long run, it is imperative to save early and just be in control of the car at all times and protect your tires, because the right front, just the way that the track is banked, is just going to wear so much, no matter how you're set up. And so it gets to that threshold. So, still going fast, but conserving as much tire as possible is critical, especially early in a run.
Well, talking about conserving tires, I just know this based off of the coach that I have. The best way to do it is typically you run the bottom and you take it really easy through entry and through every aspect of the corner, entry, center, and exit. Is that the same way to do it at Bristol, or was the high lane probably just as good, or if not better?
So early on, the bottom is the preferred lane, but once it gets rubbered up, especially when you're in traffic, you could actually save a little bit more tire, and that's what I did going to the middle or high lane, just because you could kind of take it easier. You don't have so much aero packed on your car, and it comes in just super tight. And so there are ways to save tire going up higher on the track here at Bristol, but it's going to chew tires regardless. But yeah, once that bottom gets rubbered up, it's really hard to save tire. It's possible, but you really do have to take it easy, and the guys on the outside will take advantage of that.
Well, that's honestly good news to know. Probably gonna come into effect tomorrow as well. I know you're not in the truck series for Spartan, but see kind of a similar thought. I'm able to carry information from here into that tomorrow. But Joe, you got anything for Alex?
I mean, just an outstanding race as always, and been on the maintain up there. Coming to the line, what a battle though you had there with the man behind you.
Yeah, it was. It was, and I got to give credit to Blair. He really went for it there at the end, and all credit for him. I mean, why not? And he didn't wreck me or anything like that. So kudos to him for keeping it clean and everything like that. But yeah, I was all hands on deck. I knew I probably wouldn't be able to get the Shane and Dylan because you got to be really careful on these restarts to spin your tires. And I was not going to sacrifice my pretty good race for a spin out there at the beginning. I was happy with getting a podium finish, so I will take it.
Hey, third place, man. Got anybody you want to thank for an awesome finish?
Yeah, I just want to thank my TBR team. So Team Birdie Racing, Greg Carr, Josh Hyatt, John Binder. They're awesome, great teammates. We work on setups all week. And then, of course, I want to credit CFM Performance. Evan Say created my setup tonight, and he did an amazing job in getting the car in the right place for me to perform well. So shout out to everyone that helps make this program run.
Well, there you go, Alex Carr bringing her home tonight, third, man. But let's bring the man up here. Grussmacher tried everything he could and had the great pit strategy, man. But let's get a word with him here.
Yep. Hey, Dylan, is Joe and Wesley up in the booth? You got a copy?
That I do.
Well, great rebound, I'm going to say. Not something I like telling you, but it's always good to tell you whenever you're able to claw back your way from a mistake. Speaking of the mistake, what was it? You started first gear on the start?
On the start there, I was in first gear. I thought I was in second, and I just stomped on the throttle instead of rolling into it.
Yeah, that we were wondering what exactly happened, and right before it happened as well, we were talking about the possible wheel spin you can get on restarts as well, and you kind of just proved it as we were talking about it. But either way, it set you back a little bit. Then there was also more, I believe you got into the wall a good bit as well at one point. But then you had a great strategy. You were one of the most recent to pit, and right before the caution flew out, you were, for the green white checkered, you were running down Clore as he was battling with traffic.
That I was. I switched over to our private channel, and I was ready to key up, knock, knock, look who's in your mirror, and never got the chance, and we had 3 cars get between us.
Yeah, well, Bristol, it's always a fun one, at least from watching it. I personally don't like to drive it just because I can never figure out the turns, whether it's high or low or middle, or just the bumps we talked about going into and out of the corners as well, and how easy it is to get your car looped around on you.
I love this track. I got my first win here in the trucks, so definitely a short track warrior myself. So just this new package kind of messes with your head a little bit though, because of having no downforce and all that.
Well, despite whether or not the new package was a little weird or not, I'd say you did pretty well. And I just want you to tell me as well, there were 6 sets of tires waiting for you in pits besides what you started on. Is what beyond that, did you have a strategy going in, or seeing that it was Bristol, a short track, where you're going to be like, I'm going to see how the cautions fall?
Pretty much how the cautions fall. As soon as we got that first one, I was like, taking a set. We have 6, might as well, even though they're not too bad yet. My tires were still like 83%. Would have been a downfall with everyone else taking tires, but I was like, I'll take a set. And then that second set's like, all right, good. And then I spun into the wall, kept those tires on until the last caution there. I had 3 sets left.
So pretty good if you needed them at the end, it seemed. But we were also talking with Alex about fuel versus tires, which one was going to wear out first. And he told us Greg ended up blowing a tire because he was just pushing a little bit too hard.
I was on track to run out of fuel before I blew my tires. That's kind of, I think, how driving style really affected that one.
Yeah, and that's driving style, high versus low, whichever you prefer, how much you roll through the corner. It's something that I think everybody needs to learn, and everybody just needs to put that saying, hey, if it's a long race, if you know it's going to be green, be patient. If it's going to be a wreck fest, be aggressive, but be a smart aggressive. And you kind of were a mix of both for the most part, that you were patient and waiting for your passes and runs to come.
Yes, I was. It's just gotta be patient at Bristol. The short track, really tight quarters, so can't be impatient. That's why that last caution happened. Is guys were trying to drive faster because they're on new tires to pass me and Shane, I think.
Well, I'm gonna shoot you over to Joe if he's got anything else for you. But overall, just a great run for you today.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, we saw, he touched on that, man. The beginning of the race there, you're getting on that wrong gear and, getting yourself in a little bit of a hole. Was that just, how's that work on your mindset throughout the race? So, I mean, did that throw you off a little bit?
It definitely threw me off. Shane and I talked for probably the next 3 laps, trying to get me to get back in the right headspace. So,
hey, it definitely got there, man. Got up front. Now, was you feeling like you had enough, man, to get to Clore at the end, or do you just feel like you just the lap cars were just too much there in front of you?
Once those 3 got in front of me, I had too much dirty air, and I was just going to pretty much let Clore run it out to the finish and finish second there. If they wouldn't have been there, I probably could have got to them.
Hey, man, I'll tell you what, still had a bad fast car, got up to second, man. Got anybody want to thank for a good finish tonight?
Just got to thank Conti for a killer long run set, and Shane being there to help me get back in my right mindset, keep on going.
Hey, there you go. Man, that's old Dylan Grusmacher bringing home in second tonight, man. But this guy held him off with fuel strategy and a fast machine. Clore, Joy in the booth, you got a copy?
Hey, fellas, how goes it?
Well, I tell you what, earlier in the race, me and Wes was talking, and we know y'all are on open setups, and we know y'all do a little adjustments throughout the race, but we noticed you fell way back there in the back. Did maybe it was just wrong turn of the wrench on the adjustments? Because eventually you got it found right and got back to the front.
Yeah, the only adjustment it was just throttle control, really. I was just too aggressive there towards the beginning. I was just getting loose on exit, especially 4, and I locked it up, I think, 3 or 4 times in one stint after getting some fresh tires, and was like, dude, you gotta stop. And yeah, that's when I fell. I think it was 18th or 19th. And I was like, oh man, it's gonna be one of these nights. And then I was fighting to stay on the lead lap because Hammonds was, I think, only 2 seconds behind me there for a bit. So not a good start.
Hey, well, like you said, not a good start. The good thing is we talked about it too. There's it happened early, so he was able to bounce back. Now, into the race, was you a little worried Grusmacher was going to be able to run you down with those lap traffic around you?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I was sweating probably the last 70-ish laps, because there for a while, Kolmacheski, I believe, was running P2, and I look up, and it was Greg Carr. I was like, where the hell did he come from? And then I saw his lap times, and he was running 2 to 3 tenths faster, because I was just kind of just in my zone, just taking it easy, saving tires, and this guy's just catching me. I'm like, my God, I gotta pick it up. And so I was like, I don't know how long these tires are gonna last, but I can't stay going too fast. And so I was managing the tires with Greg, and then I see Dylan's behind me, and I got all these lap traffic cars, and I didn't know what to do. And I was like, just race. Stop thinking, just run your race. And we almost got that long run checkered, but it ended up working out in the end regardless.
Yeah, that's probably the last thing. Was you worried when that caution came out?
I was, but knowing there was only 4 of us in the lead lap, I felt a little bit at ease, especially since I just had to beat Blair this week.
Hey, you definitely beat him, man. Got the field. Wes, man, I tell you what, man, here Clore did everything he had, got the win. You got anything for him?
I mean, I've got really nothing much. You almost hit on every single point. Talking about what happened when he fell back, and it wasn't the 19th. There were only 18 cars on track, Shane, so you only went back as far back as 18th. Even though when I was looking at the leaderboard, it kept saying Chris and Connor were swapping positions for 19th. They weren't on track. But yeah, you only fell back to 18th, and then a great run through forward. And I also just want to talk about, I heard it a lot because I listen into the radios, the pace car pit road incidents of Bristol. And
Dude.
this is the only track I've heard where there's that issue with that going on early in the race. You guys eventually got your own system planned out for it. Did that throw you off as well?
Honestly, I think it did, because that's so I was leading when one of the cautions came out. I think it was like after 45 or 50, something like that. We all pitted, and I came out expecting to be up front, and I was like 6th. I was like, where did these cars come from? But those cars pitted when the pits were open, essentially, and that was kind of like the snowball for when I fell all the way back, because I got loose on exit like 3-4 times. So I think that kind of messed me up a little bit, but like you said, luckily it was early in the run, so I could just bounce back and finish like we did. So can't really complain, especially after that system got sorted out.
Well, system got sorted out. You ended up getting it sorted out on your own end, coming home in first. And I've got really nothing else for you. That was the main bits of my question. Before we let you go, though, anybody you want to give shouts out to, friends, family, sponsors and such?
Yeah, Team Conti always for putting out a good set. The boys back at Goated Haas Esports, obviously, for sticking it out. We had good run in there. I think our entire team led laps tonight, so that was kind of a cool little notch for us. Dylan, the cars, I mean, great racing there out front. Everyone did a really good job, I felt, for keeping it clean, and especially those green flag runs. Appreciate you guys as always for putting on the show and covering all of us, and obviously my family back home for letting me do this.
Well, we appreciate you guys giving us a show to commentate every single race, and also just letting us sit up here and talk a little bit, not only about what's going on track, but what we think about every single time we see y'all on track, what we think might be causing it, because we're not in the cars. So we can only speculate, and sometimes we think about something drastically different or something that actually happens.
For sure. Yeah, like I said, I was sweating for the tires because I didn't know when it was gonna go. So I was just taking it easy, picking it up, taking it easy. It was a fun race though.
Well, fun race it sounded like, and I hope we can see you back up here next week, where I believe we're at Kansas.
Yes, sir. This should be a fun one.
Yeah, it's a fun one. You've got another battle yourself on hand, and I know your good buddy Grootsmacher, he's got himself a fight as well.
Indeed.
Well, man, we appreciate having to talk with you. Hope to see you up here next week. Have a good rest of your night, Shane.
Appreciate it, guys. Take it easy.
Well, there we go. Shane Kluwer, man, bringing it home tonight in a wild one here at Bristol. Wes, hey, packed it in. We had some cautions. We had some great racing. We had some little bit of fuel conservation, some tire saving there. A lot of stuff, man, for a Bristol-style race. And all in all, it came out really good here for the Spartan Sim Racing League Master Series tonight.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. Bristol, it's Bristol. You said it way before stream started when I asked you how you thought tonight was going to go. Your reply was, it's Bristol. That's the only way to describe how the race can go here, because you don't know exactly what's going to happen. But it could be an absolute green flag run from start to finish, a little bit of a snooze fest. It could be what I know people have dubbed as eye pacing, where there's a caution every 2 laps. But tonight gave us a good mixture of the two. There was a whole lot of strategy being played when we had those long green flag runs. We had the couple of cautions, the green-white checkered finish as well. It just gave us an absolute show.
It did. And folks, man, it's what you need to hear. What you look for when you come here to Bristol, man. Good excitement, great racing, man, and action-packed. But hope everybody enjoyed it. Shane Kluwer bringing it home tonight here for the Spartan Sim Racing League, the Master Series. Before myself and everyone, have a good night.